darlings, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Kgoshigadi, Noko Rakoma. Thank you so much for stopping back by. To those of you who've been watching me, of course, and if you are a new watcher, thank you. We appreciate you. Welcome, and we hope that you subscribe and become part of the family. So, why am I lost? I don't understand. Anyway, so if you do like this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to comment down below and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. So today what I'm going to do in this video is that I want to do a series of 3 episodes. This will be titled 2019/2020 reflections, and I'll basically just be comparing where I was in 2019 to where I am now. And as I said, it will be 3 episodes of this series. So the first will be on relationships, one on my spiritual life, and one on my work and, you know, making progress and productivity and all of the jazz. So yeah, I'm hoping these are going to be very short videos. They possibly will be. I'm hoping that it will be less than 15 minutes or 15 minutes max. I really hope that I can be able to keep it that short, but there's really not a lot to tell. So I hope and I do believe that I will manage to actually keep them as short as possible. So in this one, I am actually not sure what to start with, and I have not like prepared or anything like that. So oh my goodness. Okay, we'll start with my spiritual life, where I was in 2019 and where I am today. So 2019 is the year that I found Christ. Well, not really. I've always been a Christian, growing up in a Christian family. But 2019 was a year that I actually got to have a personal relationship with Christ and with God, a relationship that I understood. 2019 was the year that I actually understood what my Christianity is and what my relationship is with God and all of that. So 2019 in Joburg, started going to Calvary Christian Church in Joburg, and my life literally changed from that day. I've not been the same ever again since that day. I started having interest in, other things, different things, losing interest in others, disengaging from certain relationships and all of that. So it was almost like a 360-10, but not really. But me starting going to church on a regular like that, and understanding actually what it is that I'm doing, understanding what I'm doing by pursuing Christ, that like brought a lot of changes to my life, and I'm really grateful for that. And I'm really grateful for where that has led me even today. And yeah, so I started that. So I was like a regular church girl, go to church, serve in church, blah blah blah. So I was like a typical church girl every Sunday, even midweek services. Like I don't miss church, and it was amazing, and it did something to my spirit. And yeah, wow, I'm so all over the place. I don't even know where to start or what to say or how to say it. But I do also know that there's a lot that I want to say. Not really a lot, but I do know that there's things that I want to say. I just don't know how to start, how to say it, or whatever. But 2019 was that year for me. 2019 was the year that I discovered Christ for me, a personal relationship with Him, not based on what my family says or what another person says or what standards other people have. It was strictly a personal relationship, and it was so personal to me to an extent that I didn't even consult anyone about it when I started going to church and everything. Like I didn't say, hey, look, there's this church that I want to go to, or I want to change my life, I want to do this. I literally told nobody about it. I just did what I wanted to do, and oh, excuse me, it felt great, and that's exactly what I wanted. So my family, I grew up as a ZCC child. My parents are die-hard ZCC members. My father loves ZCC with all his life. My father grew up in a ZCC home. His father was a very senior pastor, I think, at ZCC, even at Moria. And so, and my dad is very strict when it comes to church. Like, he's very strict, but at the same time, he's just happy when you go to church. He's just happy when he understands that this relationship that you have with God. So in high school, he took me to a Christian school. It was a boarding school. It was a Catholic school. So when I got to UJ, there was a Catholic church next to my race. So that's the church that I went to. And he sort of like didn't have a problem with that. And he wasn't even going to complain because, I mean, who took who to a Catholic school in the first place? You know, so yeah, he just really appreciated that I'm taking my Christianity seriously, and I go to church and I pray and all of that. But he would always just encourage me every chance he gets to, like, you know what, find a ZCC church near you and go to that. But I was like, oh, I'm not sure if this church is actually for me. I love ZCC and I would never badmouth it or anything like that. I totally love it. When I'm home, I really enjoy going to ZCC. Yeah, I would never badmouth it or anything. But growing up, I do feel like it's not a church for me. Like, I don't feel as aligned as I am when I'm in the church that I go to. Yeah, so, but I really appreciate that I grew up in that church, and perhaps some of the things, it has groomed me into what I am today, and I don't want to take that away. I never want to undermine that. But at this point in my life, it's just a church that doesn't work for me. So yeah, my when I started going to church last year, I didn't tell anyone. I knew my parents would have a problem, my dad especially, because this is a diehard ZCC man, and now I'm gonna tell him, you know. And I just decided, you know what, I'm not gonna tell anyone anything. So sometimes when he would call, maybe he would call at night and I'm at a service at church. Then when I come back from church, I call him back. I'm like, hey, I was at church. And then he'll start asking, what church is this and this and that, this and this and that. And the one time when I went home, they sort of like started understanding how seriously I took this thing. And then he just like had a 5-minute session with me to ask me about the church. How is it? Who started the church? Who is your pastor? This and this and that. And then I explained all of that. And it was literally the simplest conversation. And I think it wasn't that hard for him to sort of accept it, because he could see how happy that made me. He could see how dedicated I was. Because sometimes when we're at home and my dad would force us to go to church, sometimes we're reluctant, you know. There are those days where you just wake up and you don't feel like you want to go to church, but with this one, he just could see that I was really dedicated. I was not being forced by anything. So I think that sort of like made it easier for him to accept it. So fast forward, my parents accepted. I even signed a membership, and then I'm a full member of the church now. My parents sort of like accepted it, and that really changed my life, you know. I mean, I've always been a Christian, but I didn't exactly live a Christian life or have like a prayer life or anything like that. I'll just pray like occasionally, or you know, things like that. And from last year, I really started wanting to hold myself to Christian standards, but not as a religion, as a relationship that I have with God. And yeah, that's literally how I started. So I started, you know, changing a few things about my life. Well, not a lot, because I'm just like a basic person really anyway. So I wasn't doing anything extreme that is like out. No, not like that. But there were certain things that I had to adjust, you know, relationships that I had to break off and everything like that. And yeah, so I had to now be very intentional about praying, pursuing God, studying the word, this and this and that. And yeah, so sometimes it works. I think like any other person who's a Christian, sometimes you're in tune, you pray every morning, you pray every night, you read your word, you do good, you're in it. And then there's just like some days where it's not looking so good. You're just waking up because you have to wake up and do whatever you have to do during the day because you have to do it. There's no purpose in the life that you're living. And this is not to say that you're no longer a Christian or you're no longer a child of God. Like, we just happen to lose the way just a bit, and it happens to the best of us, really. So this year I really wanted to be intentional about changing that. Like, I really wanted to make sure that I wanted to be a constant thing. Like, I want to be very consistent in reading my word, very consistent in reading the Bible, very consistent in I genuinely just want my life to be a reflection of something of God's kingdom. I want God to look at me and feel that I am representing him. I want my life to be a reflection of what the kingdom of God is. And I really want to be intentional about that. I lied. This video is going to be more than 15 minutes. So yeah, that's one thing that I really wanted to change this year. But I won't lie, first month, like Jan, was really hard. Like, it was hard. It was bad. Like, I wasn't praying, and no matter how many times I reprimanded myself and saying, hey, you need to stop what you're doing and actually do what you're supposed to do, like, it just never happened. There was no purpose in what I was doing. Yeah, man, it got really difficult. Like, it was tough. It was like I didn't like that position that I was in. And this was like maybe first 2 weeks of Jan, because I remember from my birthday things began to change and look a bit better. So January was like really bad, but I decided that, you know what, I'm going to stop. If I'm going to do this thing and actually win, I genuinely need to stop condemning myself, because every time I would make promises to myself to say, you know what, this is what you need to do and this is what you need to do, the minute I don't do that, then I start like condemning myself. I'm like, will I really be able to do this? So I had to make a decision to say, you know what, no matter how many times you mess up, immediately after that one mistake that you do, you need to start being intentional. You need to almost forget that it happened. Well, not really, but you need to just get over it, because it happened and there's nothing you can do about it. You can't change it. Just now try to focus on being better and being the person that you want. And that's something that I really wanted to do. And I think from my birthday, if you watched my birthday vlog, you saw the vibes and how I went out and I really had conversations with myself. From that day, it got really better. I came back, prayed, and yeah, I will still lose it here and there. Every day is not the same, but like, there was really a huge improvement. And yeah, so even now it is still a battle, but this is a battle that I'm prepared to fight. This is a battle that I wake up every day and I'm intentional about. This is not to say that I wake up every day and I pray and all of that. Sometimes I don't, and most of the time, really, it's because, especially during the week, I don't have the will to wake up. So it messes up with my everything, like it really does. And I really find that when I do wake up early and I engage in the word and I pray, that like sort of sets the tone for my entire day. And that whole day, my life is a life of purpose. I am productive in that day, this and this and that. But when I don't pray and I just like wake up and there's just like a lot of things that don't go right in that day. Like, I will just be lazy the entire day. And yeah, so I really tried. Even now, I am trying, like genuinely I am trying, but I'm definitely in a better place than I was last year and then beginning of the year. And recently, I think about 2 weeks ago, I had a revelation sort of, and you know, how do I put this? But it just like dawned on me that, you know what, if there's anything that you're going to change this year, try to be an intercessor. So I want to grow as an intercessor this year. I really want to grow in praying for other people. I want to move away from saying prayers that only benefit me, or even if it's not only me but they benefit other people, but I also get to benefit in the process. For example, whenever I pray for my parents and things go well for them, obviously I'm happy, I'm their child, that's what I want, you know. So I really want to pray for, I want to say prayers that have nothing to do with me, because often we like to make things about us. We like to make everything about us. So I really want to be an intercessor, in a sense that I want to wake up every day and dedicate each day to praying for something. It could be a person. It doesn't necessarily have to be a person in my life or a person that I'm close to. It could literally be just a stranger that I saw and saw something about them. I want to do that. You know, I want to be that person that prays for people that I don't even know, to that extent that even when God answers that prayer and makes that change in that person's life, I won't even know about it, because we just like not that close, you know. I want to be in that place. I want to wake up and say, you know what, today I am going to pray for political stability in this country. I am going to pray for poverty in this country. It doesn't necessarily have to be a person all the time, but I want to dedicate every single day praying for something that has nothing to do with me, like literally nothing to do with me. But not every single day. Other days I want to pray for other people that I know, other people that I love, other people that are in my life, my family, my friends, my boyfriend, whatever, my colleagues. But I'm just saying that I want some of these days, most of these days, to be about things that have nothing to do with me. I want to pray for situations that even when the situation changes some way, it won't affect me. I won't benefit from it, you know. And I think that's really all we're called to do, to hold each other in prayer, just as Christ intercedes for us, seated at the right hand of the Father, when we can't even bring ourselves to utter things with our own mouths. He prays for us because he already knows what we want, what we need. And this year I really want to grow in that sense. Yeah, possibly I will share my progress or whatever at the end of the year, somewhere there. But for now, this is where we are. We are definitely in a better space spiritually than we were last year. I am definitely understanding what actually a personal relationship is, and I think I'm understanding that I have to have a personal relationship not according to another person's standards. It has helped me to be free, you know. It has really helped me to be free and to just like be myself, because I understand that just because this person prays to the same God that I pray, but they have this relationship, doesn't mean that I also have to hold myself to the same standards or the same relationship, you know. And I think that has really liberated me. And yeah, so I really want to encourage you guys to, if you can, pray for other people, you know, pray over situations. Not everything is about us. If we're being quite honest, not everything is about us. And sometimes when you pray, you're praying for one person that you are seeing, but that's just one person that you know. But you don't know just what the impact of your prayer over that one person. You don't know what impact it could do over other lives, other situations. You genuinely have no idea. So we should not have small minds. We should, try to comprehend that actually it's not always about us. And just because you're praying for this person, it's not necessarily about this person. It could be about other people that are connected to this person. And me praying for myself for certain things, perhaps maybe it's not so much about me. It's about the impact that whatever it is that I'm praying for over my life could have over other people. So I really want to grow in that sense and be an intercessor, hold other people in prayer, draw people closer to Christ. And if there's anything that I'm called to do this year, that's exactly what I am called to do. And I'm going to pray every single day to help God, to ask God to help me achieve this. And yeah, so this is the end of my video. This is 20 minutes 26 seconds right now. And yeah, I think we must just like accept that short videos are not for me. Like guys, I try every single day. It's not working. No, it's not working. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. If you like it, please give it a massive thumbs up. Please comment down below, and don't forget to share and to subscribe to my channel. Love you. Bye.